Have you guys heard of this new anime called Dandadan? Well, now you did. After watching anime for a good chunk of my life now, I've come to the point where I'm starting to feel a bit burnt out from all the mediocre stuff. You know, the shows that kinda just check off all the boxes and don't do anything really innovative. Yeah, those shows. Nowadays, I just crave something different. Something that'll stimulate my senses, tickle my gooch if you will. A show that isn't afraid to push boundaries and experiment a little. We've seen shows like that before with Mushoku Tensei, Chainsaw Man, and Frieren, and of course those were all insanely good, but it's been a while since a show like that blew up in popularity and hit the mainstream. So I've just been waiting and waiting for the next one to come this year, and I think I finally found it. Ken doesn't fit in at school. He's an awkward fellow that isn't interested in anything boys his age normally are, like girls.
You are gorgeous.
And video games.
Cock and ball! I'm gonna suck your cock and ball after that performance.
And girls.
I'm Lady Boy.
He's more interested in aliens and reading books about them, so much so that he gets bullied in class for it. Momo, on the other hand, doesn't stand for that type of bullshit. She's unfiltered, bold, and does whatever she wants. So when she sees Ken getting picked on in class one day, what she wanted was for these guys to stop. When she walks away, Ken realizes something. She's in love with him. Oh, never mind. Momo doesn't believe in all that UFO alien shit like Ken does. It's all just made up to her. But what she does believe in is ghosts. Ken doesn't. And all of a sudden, they find themselves locked into a couple of dares. Momo would investigate an abandoned hospital to find aliens, and Ken would investigate a haunted tunnel to find ghosts. But there's no ghosts here. There's only... Oh fuck. As he runs away from that perverted grandma, he realizes she's not your typical senile old fart. He's trying to run away from the 1936 Olympic 100-meter dash gold medalist aptly named Turbo Granny. On Momo's end, there's no aliens, only these three guys dressed like Peter Griffin. Oh fuck. Momo wakes up and finds herself in a bit of a Diddy situation. She's surrounded by strange guys, strapped to a chair, clothes on the floor, and their ding-a-ling sticking out. There's no sign of baby oil though, so that's good. And just as they're about to make her the next Justin Bieber, it turns out, Ken got possessed by Turbo Granny and she's only here for one thing.
Let me gobble your dong.
So she bites the dick off the diddlers in an attempt to save Momo, but even Ken's newfound powers aren't enough to fight off the power of lust for minors. So the alien continues with his Diddy hypnosis, and in that moment, something in Momo's head clicks. In an instant, she unlocks her hidden psychic powers, which she uses to kick the shit out of that diddler. They end up escaping the spaceship they were trapped in, but not without damage. Momo got her clothes ripped off, and so did a portion of her dignity. And Ken, well, Ken lost his family jewels to Turbo Granny in the tunnel, and so until he gets them back, he's stuck with that curse. Yeah, the whole story is about the two of them reclaiming Ken's lost treasures, but trust me, it's necessary for the plot.
Right from the very first episode, Dandadan throws you into the world of the occult and aliens with little to no explanation. And once you see the form these things come in, and realize Momo and Ken actually have to fight them, you can already tell it's gonna be intense, hectic, and batshit crazy. This anime is an intense, fast-paced roller coaster that doesn't miss a beat, nor does it ever waste a moment. There's not even enough time for any lengthy monologues in battle, just good old-fashioned, pure, unadulterated action. The pacing is super fast and things are always moving, but you don't really get that feeling of being left behind, nor do you feel overwhelmed. A lot happens in a matter of seconds, but the show does an amazing job covering its tracks and making sure you get the gist of what's going on. I've never seen an anime so efficient with their 20 minutes of screen time. The show also does an excellent job of letting the scene do the talking instead of the characters. There's no hand holding to walk you through this crazy world. You just have to see and experience it for yourself. And if you're confused, you just kinda have to figure it out on your own. And that's a huge breath of fresh air from your traditional shonen anime. Combine all that with the great animation and passion behind the work, and you get one of the best shows of the year. I think what truly shines, however, are the characters in the story. Momo and Ken are like oil and water. They're opposites that shouldn't get along at all, yet their dynamic works like a well-oiled machine. Ken is the nerdy, quiet kid that's obsessed with the existence of aliens, and Momo is the bold and outspoken girl that believes in ghosts and spirits. Both are great characters in their own right, and they easily could have been the protagonists of their own shows. But the fact that they're in this one show together just elevates Dandadan to a whole new level. They're brilliantly expressive without having to say a word. Their body language does all the talking. and they provide so much life and energy in every single scene. But when they do use their words, their voices perfectly reflect their emotions. The two also argue like siblings and make the show feel super chaotic, but their chemistry is undeniable and the jokes hit so much harder because of it. Momo and Ken may be at the heart and center of Dandadan, but the side characters are amazing too. You have Jin and Joji, otherwise known as Gigi. He's this loudmouth, annoying, goofy-ass frat boy that has the energy of a kid on a sugar rush. He's actually Momo's first crush and childhood friend. You know, one of the friends that made fun of Momo for doing her grandma's good luck ritual. And then you have Irashita Tori, the quintessential popular girl who's also attractive and kind. But that's where she has everyone fooled, because she's actually a...
I said, bitch.
She has this weird combo of a superiority savior complex where she unironically believes she's this goddess among humans, and that she makes everyone's life worth living just by blessing them with her presence. This only got worse when she got her hands on Ken's ball and started seeing things that nobody else around her could. Now I know that Gigi and Ira both sound like absolutely despicable characters that have no place in this show, but the thing about Dandadan is that they love to portray characters in one way before revealing their background. And as you get to learn more about these characters, you realize they're not as bad as you might think. They're redeemable and you can't help but forgive them for being such assholes because they're human too. They've made mistakes, and eventually they make up for them. Oh yeah, and the best side character is Momo's grandma. Why? Cause she's hot. That's why. She can't do any wrong.
Show me. I want to see you got your pecker back.
What? What the fuck?
Now, I've noticed that the characters' reactions actually feel genuine as they have to go toe-to-toe with some of the most terrifying paranormal beings. I mean, I would scream and run too if my manhood was about to be stolen by a grandma. But when they finally get to ease and relax, however, their silliness just brings the world back to reality and it makes the characters feel so grounded in a world where anything can happen. It's these elements contrasting with the weirdness of the show that defines Dandadan. It makes the show unique and so original because it's an amalgamation of so many differing crazy concepts that are somehow held together by a cohesive story. It's kinda like JoJo in the sense that if you spoil the portion of the story to someone who's never heard of the anime or manga, they might think the author is crazy and that they're just writing a bad and messy story. But the fact that everything makes sense once you've actually seen and understood what's happening is the amazing part. And I think that's kind of the beauty of Dandadan.
The end result sometimes might be a bit predictable and you might know what happens next, but what keeps you glued to the anime is the journey and not the actual destination itself. You might have heard or seen some spoilers that Momo and Ken end up liking each other, and even though it may be obvious, you want to know exactly what happened, when it happened, and how it happened. You want to know every single detail because you actually don't know how the story even got there in the first place, and that's what makes the show so fun and addicting. Now, Dandadan has been a massive name in the manga community for a while now, and with how big of a name it made for itself, it was only a matter of time before someone announced the anime. The problem with the manga being so popular is that the loud minority of fans expect the anime to capture the essence and vibe of the manga one for one, and anything less than that would be considered a flop, a complete and utter failure. So with the entire world watching the anime announcement, Science Saru was the name of the studio that was gonna undertake the Herculean task of animating one of the hottest works in the manga community today. I can only imagine the immense pressure the team was under knowing they could face criticism from fans all over the world if they fucked it up. Look at The Promised Neverland Season 2. People still haven't forgotten about that mess. And on top of pacing concerns, there was also the issue of capturing the unique style and flair of the Dandadan manga and translating that into an anime format where it's actually watchable. We're looking at you, 2016 Berserk. Science Saru understood all this and said,
Let him.
and I truthfully can't say I'm disappointed at all. Everything is fucking amazing. The attention to detail, the banging music, the fluid animation, the insane art and color, the immaculate sound effects, even the change in camera perspectives is top tier. Countless hours of passion and dedication is what I see from every episode, and the people behind this incredible piece of work deserve nothing but praise for being able to pull something like this off. The extra effort really sticks out in an anime like Dandadan, so it becoming one of the most popular shows in 2024 isn't any surprise to me. And hopefully they can keep it up for the rest of the season, because this show is just too good to be held down by the same thing that's holding back this season of Blue Lock.
Dandadan isn't just an anime, it's an experience. And as much as I hate to admit it, the manga readers were right the entire time. This show is absolute cinema. It's a mixture of so many subgenres that it kinda has a little something for everyone. And I appreciate an anime that can do that while also making a story unique and entertaining to watch. So hurry up and watch Dandadan before Turbo Granny takes your balls too.